Hi everyone, Kelt here, bringing you my thoughts on the British royal family, and today I'll be talking more about Prince Harry and answering some of your questions to my last video, which was entitled Harry Blue Lighted. I'll also be talking a little bit about Meghan's latest wacky idea. As some of you pointed out, California ambulances have red lights. I actually thought they had both red and blue, and the information I received referred to Harry being blue lighted. Now there's some news going around which makes me wonder whether it is the actual information we were waiting for from the Spotify executive Bill Simmons, as he had said that he couldn't wait to get drunk and spill his conversation he had with Harry about Harry's idea for a new podcast series. I think this must be it. Well, it's come out now that Harry wanted to interview Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, Mark Zuckerberg, and even the Pope to get them to talk about their childhood and their upbringing and any traumas they might have suffered. I'm sure if this was the conversation they were having, that Bill Simmons would have been stifling his laughter. The articles in the newspapers are saying that it had the Spotify executives scratching their heads. Meghan's latest idea is that she and Harry use the name Spencer, that they give up Windsor. I don't know how the Spencer family feel about this, and I also don't know how true this is, but I suppose it's another crazy idea to keep her in the headlines and to get a reaction. Tom Bower is actually talking about this, and he said that Harry and Meghan want to replace the Windsor surname, but it seems more like a joke to me. I don't know if he's actually having a joke. However, the trip to hospital was apparently true, it seems, and it was supposed to be a secret, like all of Meghan's secrets, but she obviously wanted this as a prelude to Harry being set up for divorce. He apparently had such a massive panic attack that he had to be whisked off. So many of you in the comments section questioned him being whisked off to a mental hospital. The actual story that I heard was that he was rushed off in an ambulance to a hospital and then maybe possibly taken to a mental hospital afterwards. But it was said that the problem was mental, not physical. I've not had it confirmed, but I do trust my source, and I also have a certain amount of faith in Lady C, who has been talking about it also. I understand that it was meant to be kept quiet, although word has got out, and I believe that it was because there was someone there who saw what happened, and I received the information third hand. So now I'll try and answer some of your questions and address some of your comments. One comment says, "It wouldn't surprise me if these two argue, but I would be surprised if they argued in public. It also doesn't make sense that an ambulance would rush anyone to a mental hospital. I believe it would rush a person to hospital's emergency room, even if their condition was mental. That said, perhaps things are different in California and with celebrities. I do believe the co-ruler story, Harry and his wife, have both complained about the hierarchy and protocols. It's interesting to hear examples of events that preceded those complaints." Well, the first part of that comment about them arguing in public, they actually have. We might not have actually heard them, but we've seen tension with them and Meghan sinking her fingers into his arm or his hand. We've also heard, although this wasn't them arguing, the incident with the bridesmaids' dresses was recorded when Meghan was shouting. Also, staff from Kensington Palace have recorded her shouting at them as well in the early days. Regarding the part about not making sense, regarding an ambulance rushing anybody to a mental hospital, I believe that that story has been passed from one person to another. Obviously, it gets changed and people word it in their own way. So yes, I totally believe that there was an ambulance and that he was rushed with flashing lights, but probably to an emergency department of a nearby hospital. And I believe, as they said he was receiving treatment for mental issues, that he would have been sent either to a different ward or to a different hospital. I'm not sure which. I was told a mental facility. So it could be a facility within the same hospital or he was taken elsewhere. One thing that I was told was that he had a massive panic attack. Others are saying it's drug-related, but I don't think we can say at the moment. It's speculation, but I do believe the story about the ambulance. Another comment, in part, and I quote, "I have to say years of royal watching has told me that these weird, half-whispered rumours are all too true. I actually believe that this kind of very confidential missing news would be carefully sunk by the secret services." Another comment, "It wouldn't surprise me if she's trying to get him committed and then have him under a conservatorship like Britney Spears' dad had her under, where she, as a wife, then has complete control of everything." Yes, many of us have felt that she could try this one. Another comment is, "I've worked in the hospital for close to 40 years, never heard of someone collapsing, an ambulance showing up and taking them to a mental hospital. If anything, they will be taken to a hospital because initial thoughts would go to there being a physical issue. I'm calling this BS and a deliberate setup by the wife for a planned future event that will involve H and not in a good way." Yes, I totally agree with that, and I think the wording of things is put out by Meghan to emphasise the mental side of it, and it was probably a panic attack caused by her in the first place, or even something administered, who knows, but definitely a plan to make him look like the crazy one. Another comment which goes, and I quote, "I heard last Friday this event happened. It was a customer in the private club reporting of it. Evidently, H had been drinking while M was verbally attacking him. He stood up and collapsed. They were labelling it as a PTSD episode. Of course, if it did happen, it would be silenced, which I am glad. I am surprised it hasn't happened sooner if it did happen." That's a good comment. I remember something similar happening where he was at the wedding of his friend in Jamaica and he had a massive panic attack there, and we have photos of that. It looked as though he was having a row with Meghan then. She actually wasn't supposed to be there. She was supposed to be his +1. Then he broke up with her and she still wanted to come. And he has a panic attack during that time. And there's a series of photos, which I'll show here, of that time. Another comment, and I quote, "Hi Kelt, do you think it's possible this is yet another cry for the royal family to contact the Harkles? Remember, that was brought up after the catastrophic car chase. The royal family has not contacted them to see if they're okay. Seems like another attempt or sympathy from King Charles followed by a money plea." I think it's desperation for many reasons, not just the attention from King Charles and the royal family, but all part of the drama to stay relevant by whatever means. Someone else has written a comment, and I've actually talked about this subject at the beginning of this video, which is Harry wanting to interview Putin, Trump, Mark Zuckerberg and the Pope. And yes, it's an absolutely crazy idea and just shows it's coming from someone who lived a privileged lifestyle and really thinks that world leaders would want to confess all about their childhood to him. The prince who betrayed his family very publicly, and an expert on mental health. I think not. Someone else has said, "I anticipate that we will not see Harry in public for some considerable time now." You could be right. What often happens is when one of them disappears for a while, we see a lot more of the other. They never seem to both be out of the spotlight for too long. And maybe this is another part of Meghan's plan to position herself where she wants to be. Let me have your thoughts, especially about the name change to Spencer. Do you think that's real? Do you think that is her plan? So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.